It's a Simlish bop, if you know The Sims. Howdy Meowers, my name is Yellow. I'm back again with Devin for part 2 of BlushCat's K-pop comeback coverage of everything that we didn't get to cover from July to October, but that's not true because if you listened to last week, you'd know that it's not everything that we didn't get to, not cover, but just the stuff that we are deciding to cover now.
Yeah, hey, what's up? We're ready to go.
Yeah, so listen to last week's episode, which isn't really last week because we're going to try to get them out listen to last episode, not like last week's episode. We're trying to get these two out faster for you Meowers. But whatever day the first part is uploaded is not like our regular upload day, so don't be all confused about that. But we did the girl groups and girl soloists last week, so this time we're doing the boys.
Yes, and it took us a long time to get through what we had to get through for the last one, and this one I feel like we have even more, so we're gonna try to keep it short and short. We're going to try to not go off on tangents or ramble like I'm doing right now. And we're just going to get to the meat and just talk about the songs so that it's maybe wrapped up in a somewhat similar manner as last time rather than getting even longer.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll try our best. Stay with us if you want to hear our thoughts. And, we're not just talking about the songs. We're talking about the music videos, the promo, everything like that too. So if that's your kind of thing, you can listen. We're going to start with ENHYPEN.
Yes. And once again, please forgive the background noise if you hear any.
Correct. So they had actually their second studio album and the title track XO, Only If You Say Yes, and then they promoted the B-side, Brought the Heat Back. So let's start with XO. What are your thoughts on it, Devin?
Okay, now this happens often with me. When I first heard the song, I thought, I don't really like that. I thought it's kind of annoying. It's pretty repetitive. And come on, you're not going to tell me that it's not repetitive, okay? It is. But it's gotten pretty catchy. Definitely over time. Like, it's a good thing for this song that it's been so long since it came out that I'm deciding to share my thoughts on it because it definitely took a moment. Also, I feel like the music video is a little slow. But I do like that they're still doing the whole vampires or whatever thing, like the lore, which I don't fully follow along with, but the lore is still there, and I feel like I like that. I think it's making sense. I think it's working. So, yeah. Like, not exactly, like an iconic Bite Me with this one, but it's really not as bad as I thought it was at first.
Okay, I'm sharing some of the same sentiments with you, but I think I quite enjoyed this one. Like, at first I was like, yeah, it's a little slow. The music video is a little slow. The song is very simple, very repetitive. There's like not too much going on. And so like I was kind of feeling it, like the beat when it first started. I was like, okay. But then the first lyrics happened, which are XO, and I was like, oh, okay, we're going with this sort of sound. And so I kept listening and I kept watching and I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure. Like, it's not my favorite ENHYPEN song, but it's definitely not my least favorite. It's like probably up there with their title tracks because it just is so catchy, and like there's parts that get stuck in my head literally all the time, and I'll just like randomly sing it all the time. And, I think that they're pulling off the simple like element of it well, and so I think that's kind of what's making me also enjoy their music show stages a little bit, because I'm never really interested in watching ENHYPEN music show stages, but the stages for this song are rather enjoyable to me. And so, yeah, maybe that's just because it's like naturally kind of laid back. I do like the music video, and I also like how they're keeping the lore and like the ENHYPEN concept. I think it's like a little bit unnecessary though, and I don't know why Hybe feels the need to constantly include breaks, so like pauses and sound alterations and stuff like that in music videos. Like there's times when that's really effective and it has a good impact, but sometimes it's really irrelevant and unnecessary in my opinion. And I'm like, let me just hear the song without all of these interruptions, because the interruptions aren't adding anything for me right now. So that's kind of how I feel about that. And I feel like that's especially common for ENHYPEN videos. And they're also always having like long intros and outros. And like, I just feel like that can get kind of annoying sometimes. But I think the music video is like well made. It looks decent and it's kind of like interesting. You're like, ooh, what the heck at some parts. And the part with Sunu, like the expression that he makes after the butterflies come out of his hand, that's funny. Like I like that part. So those are my thoughts.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
Now let's talk about Brought the Heat Back. So what did you think about their B-side?
I think I like this one better than the title track. And I honestly, like when I went to re-listen to it, I thought, why haven't I been listening to this more? Because it's actually kind of good. Like, I don't know. I just didn't. I knew I'd heard it before, but I didn't remember. Like, it didn't stick with me after I heard it. But I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. I like the cat sort of theme. I guess you'd say. I do not like in the music video the part with the demon eyes. Because it seems weird to me. Like it seems like they didn't make their eyes turn. I mean, this is what happened. It's not what it seems like. They didn't make their eyes like turn into demon eyes. They like put demon eyes like over where their eyes would go, and they look like they're like sticking out. Like they look like they're not like on their face all the way. It bothers me. But, and I don't know if it was with this, I feel like it was with a lot of the ENHYPEN songs, honestly, on this album. I was getting some T by T vibes, interestingly.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
So those are my thoughts. Yeah, I like this one more. Like this one is kind of like a better version of Sweet Venom. And I liked Sweet Venom, but like this one I feel like has even more. Like it's a little less like chill than that one was. So yeah, what did you think?
Okay, I really like this one, and I'm glad that they promoted it. But I'm not going to go to the level of saying like I think this should have been the title track, because I'll say that about a lot of B-sides that get promoted that I really enjoy, and I'm like, I could have seen this as the title track. But I think it's cool because like despite the title track being really simple and this one is a little bit more bouncy, the title track still feels like a title track to me, and this one still feels like a good B-side. So I think that they made like a fitting decision in terms of how they promoted them. But I also really love the cat theme, and real men love cats. If you know, you know. And so, you know, it's a common theme in like Halloween videos, or like, you know, videos that are released in the spooky season. But this was released back in July, or like the music video wasn't, but like this song was. And so like, I feel like if they waited a little bit longer even to release the music video, it would have been more appropriate. It doesn't really feel that summery to me, but it's called Brought the Heat Back, so I guess maybe, you know. But I really like the music video because in terms of like the style and the atmosphere, it reminds me of Shiny Married to the Music. And I really like that. I think it has, like, I think the video has the perfect vibes for the song. So I really like it.
There were a few parts in the music video that I was like, what the heck? Like, what is happening? But I guess married to the music, I would have felt that way as well. So I guess it checks out. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I guess the last comment on it is that their 1 the K performance of it, I enjoy that because I think this, like that red and white styling at least, is like interesting. And I like the angles that they were working with. It was sort of like similar to like the music video in a way. So I liked that. Aside from the songs that they promoted, I really think that they had like a solid album. I really like Moonstruck and Your Eyes Only. I feel like Your Eyes Only could easily fit on the Orange Blood album. And also Paranormal feels like it could really tie in with the Dimension era. So like I'm getting strong ENHYPEN vibes from all of these songs. So I like that they've sort of developed a sound at this point, even though I kind of don't think as ENHYPEN as a group with like a very distinct sound. I kind of get more like radio friendly vibes from them. But like at the same time, it's like they have like, you know, the really energetic party sort of songs. And then there's also now more of the rock influenced songs. So I think that that's good. But I also just feel like they're calling it a full album or like a studio album, but it's only 9 songs, and it's like 8 if you don't consider the English version of the title because that's like a repeat song. Only 2 of the songs are over 3 minutes long, so like is it really even a studio album? Like I'm just saying. I'm going to be talking a lot about length of songs just because I feel like until they get back to like regular over 3 minute length, I'm like I want to point that out.
Yeah, there were a lot in the 2-minute range this time around, a lot. I am going to say right now I didn't even listen to the English version. But I listened to the rest, and yeah, I mean, it was a strong album, I'd say, as well. I would like to hear more of the Bite Me sound for other songs coming from ENHYPEN, but at the same time, I understand that song I feel like is so unique. Like the sound is so unique that I get if they're not going to be doing that sort of thing all the time. But yeah, in terms of like ENHYPEN, because I'm not very familiar with their stuff, I didn't have many problems with it.
Okay. Well, are we ready to move on to Waker?
Yes.
Okay. So Waker also had a comeback in July with their second mini album and the title track Vanilla Choco Shake. So
why don't you share your thoughts?
Okay. I have to. I believe I told all of our listeners, all of our Meowers, you can subscribe to BlushCat to become a Meower, that I would be talking about Waker when they have their first comeback, because I really liked their debut with Atlantis. I really liked it. I was here for the whole album. It was really good. So I was looking forward to their first comeback. And I have to say, everybody, sleeper and non-sleeper, Meowers and non-Meowers, say it with me. Thank you, Waker. Seriously, thank you, Waker, for releasing this fun, bright, happy, and just truly K-pop song. Like, I knew it. Atlantis was so good that I just had a feeling that their first comeback was going to be good too. And when I heard the highlight medley and when I saw the music video teaser, like, I knew that we had a hit on our hands here. And like, it's just so fun. Like, I wish that, okay, yes, boy groups have been trending more towards like a brighter sound, which I appreciate. But like this reminds me of classic 3rd gen boy group carefree sort of fun. Like, it's just everything. It reminds me of Snooper, honestly. If you don't know Snooper, go listen to their music. But it reminds me of Snooper and that sort of era of fun K-pop. And yeah, so that's like the song itself. However, what like I have to say that I don't like about it is the music show stages, because they're a little flat to me. It just doesn't match the energy from the actual song. But, they didn't really ever promote it very much on music shows, and the same goes for their debut. So they're not really as experienced on K-pop music show stages. So maybe that is like adding to the kind of lack of energy I'm getting. But I like getting to see the choreography on the stages, so I guess that's a positive because I really like the banana part. And they were doing some fun stuff with the styling, which I appreciate. And yeah, that's, I guess, those are my thoughts on the title.
Okay. Yeah, they're definitely bringing it back a little bit, like to a past time. It is fun. It's pretty catchy. In terms of the song, I like it. Like I'm here for it. But I don't like the music video really. Just visually there's a lot that's kind of like a little much for me. And also the dance, it gets a little much for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
And I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, they are doing a lot, but they're doing it in a practiced, sort of Boys Planet way. Like, these are our facial expressions and stuff, and like we'll go out there and we'll do this, rather than like feeling the vibe and the energy of the performance. But yeah, they've had very little exposure to that, so that makes sense. But yeah, the dance is just like, honestly, I feel like there's too much miming of like different actions. Like a lot of the times, especially nowadays, people will put like something in the song that's choreography that's like making something or doing something. It looks less like a dance. I feel like there's a lot of that. Like to the point where I'm just watching them like do a sort of like dance sign language, So that's why it gets like a little much for me. It's not that I think they're doing a bad job with the dance or anything. It just seems like it's almost so much that it's taking away a little bit.
I totally see how that could be a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the song. Like, just to listen to the song, it is really catchy. It does, it does pull you in. It does get you.
Yeah. So, did you get a chance to hear the rest of their album?
Why, of course I did.
Okay, so you want to tell me about some of the songs that you liked? Or maybe the ones that you didn't? I don't
know. So Dolce, I thought sounded like a ZB1 song.
Okay.
Which everybody knows that ZB1 just pulls out like really great B-sides. Like their albums are always very strong. So to say that it sounds like a ZB1 song is a compliment. Also, I don't know what it was called because it was all in Korean, but the one that's maybe dreaming something. Does that have dream in the title? I don't know.
I don't remember.
Well, I mean, I saw Goom, so I'm thinking it has something to do with dreaming. But it had like a video performance weird thing that was going with it.
Oh, 2X.
I don't know.
I think that's what they call it in English. Okay.
Well, it had a video that went with it that was
it's like a slow one, right?
Yeah. It was like they were standing there like they were gonna do like a killing voice or something, but then they all leave and then the one boy's really sad, and then it had drawings like over top the video, and I just think that was really well done. Like I think the drawings and the style of drawing like really added to the song in my opinion. and made it a lot more emotional. Honestly, at some points, because I didn't really understand what was going on, at some points I kind of thought the boys themselves were like going too hard with the emotions of sadness. I was like, why is this boy so incredibly devastated right now?
Oh no. Okay. Wow.
But I mean, maybe that's how sad the song is. I don't know. But I really did like the drawing aspect because it was something different, but also classic. Like I've seen that vibe before,
Right.
but not in K-pop. Like it just, I think it worked really well. And it sounded like it could have been a song from a drama.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is another compliment. So
Nice.
yeah, like they had quite a few strong songs and different sort of vibes.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I thought that about their first mini album as well, and I agree, like I think the same thing this time, that the tracks are very diverse. Like they're offering a lot of different styles. I appreciate that they have a ballad, or like, I think they have more than one this time. And then there's like the fun songs, and then there's the chill songs, and then there's like the rock songs. So I really like Rest and Lollipop. Those are probably my two favorite songs, like that and the title track. So I really like the nostalgic feeling that I'm getting from a lot of their music. And I also appreciate the length of their album, because I thought that their first mini album was like a full or, studio album because of the amount of tracks. And this one has 9, and it it's called a mini album, but it has more songs than like the vast majority of K-pop mini albums. And like, sure, you might not really consider it that way because there's an intro and a skit, but I still appreciate that they're offering that much diversity, that many tracks, but it's still just considered a mini album. And there is length to the songs, like they're more typical pop song length instead of like short TikTok age, like Zoomer friendly length, which is what I'm getting from a lot of K-pop songs lately.
It's kind of crazy to me, at least, how many different types of like quote unquote albums people have, between mini albums and EPs and digital singles, but it'll have like 3 songs and full albums and studio albums. And I can't keep up with it at all, but I appreciate your commitment to holding people accountable to what they're calling it and what they're giving us.
Thank you. So Waker, it's a hit, like in my book, but I would like to see more from them, more promo, more on music shows, more energy on the music shows, and we need to get them used to that kind of situation. I know they've done a lot of promo in Japan, so that seems to be what they're focusing on, but I'd like to see some Waker content, even because they're kind of still like a bit of a mysterious group, that it's like, wow, they have really good music, but I don't really know anything about the actual group.
Yeah.
Let's move right along to NCT Dream.
Okay, let me start.
Okay. Do you want to explain what they had?
No, you explain.
Okay. So they actually had an English single called Rains in Heaven, and there is a music video for it, so that's what we're talking about today.
Okay. Now I wanted to start because I know that I'm not going to be able to compare to what you think. It was a very sweet song. That's not really my type of song. Very sweet, but still, and even though it's in English, it still sounds like an NCT Dream song, so we always appreciate that. They still had choreography. I always appreciate that, because sometimes if it's a sweet song and if it's an English song, they just don't do choreography, but there's choreography for it, which we love. That's great. And I guess that's kind of all I have to say. There's one other point that I would say I liked that about it, but I don't know if you're going to mention it, so I'll wait.
Okay. Well, you are correct in knowing what I'm going to be saying about it, because seriously, it's so good, and I'm so relieved that it's so good because you never really know if English singles are going to turn out or not, but this one turned out great. It has the same feeling as their Japanese titles, and, you know, we've both talked about how good those are. And also, it's nearly 4 minutes, so I've got to appreciate that. The music video I thought was really good as well. There's lots of emotion, some acting, and it looks nice as well. Like, I thought it was well done. It's not just some throwaway, you know, cheap looking music video. And, like, no offense, but it's not some overly, like, westernized production either, because we've talked about that so much, that when groups have English singles especially is when they try to make it be like, look, we are in the West. We are pushing towards a global audience right now, and we are just making this the most obvious thing that anybody has ever seen ever. Look how global, right?
Yeah.
But this is not that.
And that's so crazy because it's like the people that are your fans aren't your fans because of that. Like, they're your fans because of the K-pop aspect, I would think.
Right.
So...
Yeah, so I like that about it. I love when they all stare at the Blastia core. And once again, that's an if you know, you know sort of thing. But the Blastia core is very prevalent, especially towards the end of the video. And I love that. I love the shot of main dancer Renjun right front and center, absolutely owning the choreography. Shout out to our boy Renjun. Welcome back. I'm so glad he just felt the strong desire to participate in this song, because he's like, you know, I hear this song and I hear how good it is. And like, if it didn't have his vocals, it would be missing something, honestly. And yeah, like you've said, the song actually has choreography, and it's not, you know, watered down TikTok friendly choreography either, which is also something that's common with English K-pop songs. It's just regular, normal choreography, and I like the styling. It's, you know, they have like, you know, the kind of casual looks, but then there's like the white cloth strip sort of looks, which I always am a fan of. I have no complaints with this release. It's really good. I love the style of it.
We all saw that coming. So glad that you get something great like that. Yeah, the last thing I was gonna bring up was the Blastia core, because once you pointed it out to me, I was like, okay, yeah, that's pretty iconic. Yeah, if you know, you know.
Yeah. So let's move on to ZEROBASEONE. They had their comeback in August, their 4th mini album, Cinema Paradise, and their title track, Good So Bad, promoted B-side, Kill the Romeo. Who is starting?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
I already did a track by track on Cinema Paradise, so if you missed that, but you want to hear my thoughts that are closer to my initial thoughts on every song from the album, you can check that out. But
go check it out after you listen to this. Put it in your watch later.
Oh.
Or on Spotify, just, I don't know, remember.
Yeah, maybe they're listening on Spotify right now too, so you can just like, I don't know, probably get over to it relatively easily. I don't know. I don't think there's a way to like add a card or anything on Spotify though. Maybe they should implement that sort of feature. Anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about my current feelings and like their promo, that side of it. Good So Bad, you know, it's like what, 3 months later, like roughly 2-3 months later, it's still a hit in my book. I think I'm considering it my favorite ZB1 title track. Like, I really like it. The vibes, the energy, the choreography. I actually really like the choreography a lot. There's a lot of highlights, like, you know, the beginning when they're all huddled together, the chorus, or like the pre-chorus, and then the actual chorus. The Zhang Hao part at the end when he bounces and spins is like so iconic, and I love it, and I want that moment on repeat. It's just so good. The music video as well is offering us a little bit more from ZB1. I like that they've tied in the cinema concept throughout. the whole album, and they've made it, clear with the music video that they're going for like cinema, script writing, that sort of storytelling element. But I don't really like the music video. But like I appreciate what they were doing in comparison to their other videos, but I don't really like it.
Par for the course.
Yeah, and like particularly the like, outside scenes, and then like it's a little silly, which is kind of like I like when they're like, joking around, like that's the energy that we get at the beginning of the choreography. So that's fun, but I just don't like the execution, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm used to for their music videos. But, the song is great and I love it. So before I talk about Kill the Romeo, you share your thoughts on Good So Bad.
Okay. So yeah, if you've been around for a while and you've been listening, we've been talking about ZB1 since before they were ZB1. We've been talking about these people ever since Boys Planet. And since they've been ZB1, I've never really liked the music videos, but I've always thought that, across the board, the songs that they release are pretty good, quite strong. And their other big strength, I think, is in content. Like they make really good content. But their weakness in my mind is the music videos. So yeah, I don't even know if you guys would have wanted to hear what I had to say initially about this. I don't remember what I said, but it was a lot worse.
Yeah.
It was a lot worse than what I'm going to say now. I just remember I had much harsher thoughts initially after I watched the music video for the first time. I was like, that was not good. And now when I watch it, I'm kind of just like, eh. Like I don't like it. I don't really like anything about it. But it's not anywhere close to their other ones. The other ones, I had problems with the actual like visual quality.
Right.
So this one at least looks good quality. It doesn't have like a whole bunch of CGI or AI, whatever sort of generated stuff.
Yeah.
So that's good. It looks normal. It's just that I don't care about it at all. I guess that would be my best way to put it. I don't care about the music video. But yes, much like you're saying, I put strongest title yet. Like I do think that this is my favorite of their title tracks.
A round of applause for ZB1.
Yes.
Let's go.
And also the dance I like, and I think it's very dynamic. I think that this would be categorized as one of those dynamic choreographies where they're like using the stage, using the formations to really keep it interesting. I like that. My other tiny little like pet peeve sort of thing about it is right at the beginning when the man's like, when you feel the rhythm, and then it starts. I think it's really unsatisfying. I think I understand completely that they're cutting it off for a reason, but the timing that it's cut off at just feels really unsatisfying to me. I'm sorry, I know. But I mean, it's my favorite of ZB1's title tracks, okay? So can't be that mad at me, right?
I totally get what you're saying and like how, yes, it could be very unsatisfying, but I do that sort of thing a lot. Like I want to just get right into it. So okay. I kind of do that for fun. Like if I sing a song, like I'll do that sort of thing a lot. So I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. It just like, start to move. Like I'm like, yeah, let's go type of thing.
Okay.
Before I talk about Kill the Romeo, I actually do want to mention the styling because I didn't talk about that. But I really like everybody's hair this era. I think that we've been getting a lot of good looks. I really like the blonde that's happening. Purple isn't super common, so I always like when somebody does purple. And I also thought that Ricky and Matthew's hair was looking really good. So there's that. And like the actual like outfits were pretty good too. No complaints really. Definitely better than like styling for their past eras.
Yeah, I like the styling for this one.
Yeah. So Kill the Romeo. I did talk about in the track by track how I don't like the choreography for it, and I stand by that. I think they just, like, I like the song, okay? I think it's a good song, so let's get that out of the way. But I think they could have done something so much more unique with this and just made it like a play. Like, they could have played into the Romeo aspect so much more. It could have been very concept heavy, and they could have been styled, more like a dark romantic sort of styling, but it just seemed more like generic, like dark concept boy group styling. So while I do enjoy the song and I don't think that they did a bad job, I just feel like it was a missed opportunity to show something more. So that's kind of the way that I feel about Kill the Romeo, and that was my initial reaction, and that's like still how I think.
Yeah, for the sake of time, I agree. I like the song. I agree that they could have done more. I wouldn't have noticed that, like, oh, they could have done more. This was maybe like could have been taken somewhere else. But once you said it, I was like, yeah, you know what? I agree.
Okay, so it's time to move on to Boy Next Door, and we're talking about their pre-release Dangerous and their title track Nice Guy. Yeah, Dangerous first. How about I go and just get my thoughts out there? So the very first listen, I thought it really wasn't my thing. But literally every time after that, I was like, wait, this is really good. I don't like the music video. I do not like the music video. Sorry, no offense. But the song and the dance and the lyrics are all enjoyable. It's not really the best message, like, at all. It's like, a bit rebellious and stuff like that. But I get the vibe of it. It's very youthful, and it's like intentionally rebellious because that's part of like their concept of youth. So it just really reminds me of like old BTS, or like, should I say classic BTS lyrics, like mic drop type of thing. Because
she was calling mic drop old BTS.
like classic iconic BTS stuff. Because of the lyrics and like the style, it's very carefree. We're just having fun, but there's also that edginess and like ego, I want to say, or like, like sassy attitude. So I'm getting those sorts of, like those sorts of vibes from it. I really like the whispered and like the talking parts and how it's a bit conversational. I think that's adding a lot. And I feel like there's actually some artistry in like the construction of this song. And like the lyricism is giving me a second and third gen like self-produced group vibe. So that's why I'm thinking BTS initially, but there's definitely other groups that I'm reminded of. But I just appreciate that, and I feel like it's been a little lacking in recent groups to have that kind of, that kind of thing happening with the lyricism, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Respectfully, they're weird. And I feel like that's okay to say because I feel like that is the intention. It is intended to be weird, is it not? Like, it is.
Yeah.
But it's weird. Like when I first heard the song, I didn't see the music video. I had just heard the song and seen the performances like multiple times. And I just was like, okay, this is really weird. Like it's weird. But then I saw the music video and I was like, okay, this is even weirder. Like it is actually it's way weirder than I thought it was. The music video for this one and the other one, they're so weird.
Yeah.
But somehow it's still totally listenable. I'll say more about it when we talk about the other one as well. Like I kind of wanted to lump them together a little bit. But also one of the stage performances, which I love their colored microphones. Just need to say that. They're very satisfying. But one of the stage performances, maybe they were doing it for all of them and I just didn't notice, but they had some, it was on Music Bank. They had some ad libs. I thought that was interesting. Like they were like, you know, hyping up the crowd sort of extra, like Music Bank, okay, let's go sort of thing. And I was like, is this like a special performance? Like what's going on here? But they were doing that, which is always appreciated, especially with younger, newer groups.
Yes.
You know, because it shows them being a little more comfortable on the stage. So I thought that was, you know, like good for them. Yeah.
Okay, why don't you go right ahead then, and why don't you talk about Nice Guy?
Okay, Nice Guy is weird. It's weird. And I thought that, and then I saw the music video and I thought it's even weirder. Minecraft? Excuse me? Again? Because Nemo from last week, like I'm always saying, you know, there's always some sort of weird through line between a couple of things, and this time it's Minecraft. But yeah, there's Minecraft in the video, which is, okay, I don't know. So basically, they do this sort of, with Dangerous and Nice Guy, they do this weird vibe that I just don't fully vibe with. Like, I want to compare it to DKZ Crazy Night is weird, right? But I'm like on board with the weirdness because I'm kind of like, when I get down to the base, I'm like, I get it, you know? But this kind of weird, I don't really get it. And so it's weird because it's kind of like I hate to like it. Like I can't fully be like, yeah, like, you know, turn it up. I'm vibing with this song, and that's how I am with Crazy Night. But like it gets stuck in my head. I sing it. It's completely listenable. I just don't, for some reason, I'm not like on board.
Okay. Yeah.
So I hate to like it. Like I like it, I guess, but like I don't want to admit it. It's kind of like that.
I totally get that vibe and experience that you're having with Boy Next Door, because I totally get where you're coming from, and I kind of feel that way as well, but I'm more sort of just like ignoring that part of it and just embracing it, because I'm like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the songs actually. If I take away that, it's almost a little bit like uneasy. Like it makes me feel a little uneasy, which is a little bit concerning. But I'm like, you know what, whatever. Right now, let's just enjoy the song. But you know, back when we did talk about their debut, and I was a little bit hesitant too, because I'm like, I don't like the music videos at all, and like the style of this group doesn't seem like something I'm vibing with. But there's something about the songs that's really catchy, and I'm actually kind of enjoying. And I do like their music show stages because, yeah, I like their, like, it seems like they're present, they're interacting with the audience, they're interacting amongst themselves, and it feels more like they're comfortable, and like it has that second, third gen sort of, you know, performance ability, I guess. But my reaction to Nice Guy was very similar with my experience with Dangerous. The first time, or like, you know, maybe the first 2 times or so, I didn't really care about it because I didn't like the music video, and I thought it was a little bit boring, or like not enough was going on. However, I really enjoy the actual song now. It reminds me in a way of 17 World because of like the jazzy sort of vibe that it has. And it's very carefree like Dangerous, but in a completely different way. It's more relaxed and chill, but I also like how it's like peppy, sort of classy. I like it even though it's very simple, very chill, which is also like the vibes I was getting with ENHYPEN EXO. So like not a whole lot going on, but there's still something to it, and it gets stuck in my head, and there's a lot of memorable lines that are good to just randomly sing. So yeah. That's how I feel about about Boy Next Door, really.
Maybe it's just like, maybe their songs are just so well made, and so like maybe they're just so like perfectly fitting for them and their vibes that you like have to like them anyway, even when it's like not something you think you would like maybe that's the secret. I don't know.
I appreciate with Boy Next Door that like I know that they are involved with their stuff. So I think that's, you can tell.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you can tell because like I was saying, like the construction just seems a little bit more like there's something there, and it seems like something that they are wanting to be involved in.
Yeah, there definitely is a level of authenticity that you get from it.
Yeah. So I haven't yet, but I, you know, all that weirdness kind of being said, I am still willing to give some Boy Next Door content a try because I haven't done that yet. So I am a little bit curious. So we'll have to see. But other songs on their album, I will just say that I really like Gonna Be a Rock, but I don't know what's up with T by T and Boy Next Door having songs with titles like that.
I know. I was like, didn't T by T have a rock song too?
Yeah.
A rock song. Yeah, no, I like that one too.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I also like the album art because I like that their names are included. Like, I totally didn't even notice that at first, even though it's so obvious. But, like, all of their names are somewhere on the album art.
Oh, I remember that I saw the bead bracelet on the album art, and I was, like, reading it, and I was like, is that, like, a name or something?
Yeah.
And that's as far as I got.
Yeah. So, that's it for Boy Next Door. Did you have anything else to say?
Nah.
Okay. So, let's talk about Kang Daniel, who had the title track Electric Shock and his 5th mini album. Would you like to begin?
Sure. Electric Shock. I think he did a really nice job with this one. Is it going to be my favorite Kang Daniel song? No, but it's really good. I like the paranoia vibes that it has in the sort of beat and dance and stuff. It's got a little bit of that. I really like that. I think the music video is really good. Like, I think it's got funny elements. He's got acting in it. It's got symbolism. I just think it's really well done. And I like that he's playing 2 different characters. And then I like that he does those 2 different characters on stage. I also like the dance. I like that he adds the hand heart that is like, you know, of the new generation style of hand heart. It's like, he's like, I know what's going on. And I don't know. It's really good. Like, it's a little more understated than some of my favorites from Kang Daniel, but it's not so understated that it's going in the category of ones that I kind of end up forgetting about. It's catchy, it's listenable, it's nice. I just think all around, good job, strong performance. And thank you, Kang Daniel, for coming back and doing more music before you went off to the military, because I was really concerned because with the whole thing and and I was like, this is it.
Well, yes. So agree. He's really delivering. I really enjoy this title track a lot from Daniel. Definitely does have that paranoia feeling, but it's like a little less dark. But I really do love the music video. I actually gave it a thumbs up because I really like it. I think it's really fitting and it's really well done. It's definitely one of my favorite music videos that we're talking about today out of all the music videos for the titles and the B-sides, definitely. I really like the theater play stage concept because I can definitely hear that in the instrumentals. Like, I can really feel the story playing out as I'm listening, And I'd say that this song has a lot of motion, even though it doesn't have the same vibe at all as the songs I usually say that about. I just think that there's like a lot of ups and downs in the instrumentals, and so it feels very playful, but also like it's like I get like a sneaking around vibe.
Yeah.
And like the music video, it shows that kind of. And so it's like it's pretty grand, but it's also laid back and simple. And it's just like the music video, the choreography, everything is giving me that. And so it's just really well done. I like it a lot.
And you know what else you just made me think of? Is that it's very Kang Daniel. Like, I just feel like, because you said it's very playful, like, I feel like, yeah, if I think about the vibe of the music video, it actually is, it seems so like his vibe.
Yeah, it does.
I didn't think about that before.
Yeah.
Which is really nice, especially because, you know, this is because when he was making stuff and it was like his own company, if stuff seemed like his vibe, it would be like, well, duh. But now he had to go and find these new people to work with, or whatever is happening, you know? So you might think it would be a little more generic or something, but it's not. It's still so Kang Daniel.
Yeah. I wanted to say, like, let's say thank you to Daniel as well for giving us this despite everything that's been, going on.
Yeah.
So how about the rest of the album? Because personally, I really enjoyed it. So what did you think?
I enjoyed it too. I liked all the songs. My favorite is 9 Lives. I love the cat reference. Obviously, just because, that's fun and iconic or whatever, but because we know how much Kang Daniel loves cats, so it just makes it even better. But I love that it also has like a video game. It's like cats and video games. 9 Lives, and then he says, I'm leveling up. And it's like, it's perfect. I really like it, and I love the sound.
Well, I really like all of the songs, actually. When the album came out, like, I actually really truly had the album on repeat for like a while, because it's a quick listen, but it feels complete and it feels diverse. Like, I almost feel like I totally could do a track by track on this. I have some other ones queued up though, so I don't know if I'd get around to it, but like I totally could, because it's like the flow of the album is really good. I think that like the first song feels like an intro and the last song makes a good outro, and then the way that Electric Shock is sandwiched in the middle, like the first 2 songs have sort of the same vibe, and then the last 2 songs have sort of the same vibe, and then the title is kind of like a good mix of the two. So I think it was like really well put together. And my favorite B-side though is probably the collab that he did with Chungha, Come Back to Me. And that is actually all English, but it's the collab that I never expected and didn't know that I needed. But like, I literally listened to this multiple times a day. It's like, it has fire confetti vibes, and you know what that song did to me. Like, I love the dreamy vibes and the atmosphere that it has. And it also has such, once again, like chill but groovy sort of vibes that I can picture choreography for. So I really wish that there was a dance. Like, imagine how good a Kang Daniel Chungha dance collab would be. Like, if a song is that good, like if they put their dance skills together, like, wow, that would be so good.
That's crazy. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. But like this is how you add an all English song on your K-pop album. Like, I didn't even realize until several listens later that it is all English, because it doesn't have that same print that many K-pop English releases try to like copy. It's not glaringly obvious that it's English or something, because it still sounds like Kang Daniel. It sounds like something he would typically release, not like a completely different genre. Or something like, like watered down. Like, it's very good. It's very, It's really good.
That's what I thought with Wasteland. And that one being all English. So he's like done it more than once too.
Yeah.
And like
I always forget that that's English too. Like,
yeah. I want to mention as well, like, just because we're talking about it, we're ranting and raving. I guess not ranting. We're raving about Kang Daniel. A lot of his, in my opinion, best songs, and maybe you're like, well, yeah, that's obvious, but his best songs are the ones that come from his, like, you know,
his experience.
Yes, his experiences.
Story.
Yeah. Because I Hope was such a good one. Hello, okay. And Paranoia, so good. SOS and Wasteland, I literally love those songs so much. And now this one, like,
he has good music.
Yes, he does. I've always been a Kang Daniel fan, guys, and it's just, if you're sleeping on Kang Daniel, wake up.
Wake up, people.
Because this is good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So really good job, Daniel. Well done. Thank you again. And good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
We are now going to talk about TIOT because they actually released a single called The Long Season. And once again, you know, should we flip a coin? Who wants to talk about this first?
Well, I talked about Electric Shock first, so why don't you start?
Okay. So basically, why isn't everyone paying attention to this? Why?
Why isn't everyone paying attention to TIOT since their pre-debut? Okay, I've been trying to tell everybody, but go ahead.
It's so good. I really enjoy this. I get such Pentagon vibes. It especially reminds me of Spring Snow, and that should be saying a lot. It has K-drama vibes, and I love that they implemented that in the music video. It's a story, it's meaningful, and it's interesting. And I also love that they've done an extended version of the music video to give us even more K-drama essence. It brings me back to the 101 days, and it's nostalgic, and it feels like we're getting back to the classics. And the song itself, once again, very good. I really enjoy it. Their live stages are really enjoyable, and their live vocals have definitely improved. They were, you know, pretty solid and like definitely strong and powerful before, but I feel like it's getting more stable. So I like that, and I want to shout that out. I love the energy, but how it also has this like softness and sentimentality. And TIOT seems to know that their vocals really suit the rock sound, but like I like this softer, more emotional sort of rock sound from them a lot. And so, you know, if they just keep going the way that they're going, I think I'm going to really enjoy it.
See, and this is why I say that Boys Planet is rigged. I mean, we all know these shows were rigged, but rigged not just in the rigged sense, but to favor people with certain ranges. Because a lot of those boys came from, or all of them? No, not all of them, but a lot of them came from Boys Planet. Well, not, you know, they didn't come from Boys Planet, but they were on Boys Planet, and they maybe didn't get super far, but a part of it was Boys Planet requiring one specific type of boy to go far. Just saying. Because they are great at what they do, and they don't have to be able to do those other things.
Yeah.
But anyway, wait, so should I talk? Okay. The first thing that I have written down for this song, it might surprise you. It is the word perfect.
I'm not surprised because I know your thoughts about other TIOT stuff, but I am surprised because of what I've heard you say about it so far before this episode.
I just, you know, I was thinking about it and I was watching it because I loved Moonrise. Loved it. But this song, and so this one I was like, it's not as good as Moonrise, but like it's still great. But when I actually was like looking at it and stuff, as like a whole package, the song, the music video, the promotion, everything, I was like, there's nothing I would change. There's nothing wrong. It is perfect the way that it is. So that's what I mean by perfect.
Okay.
It's kind of like Either Way by IVE.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, because it's like with the music video, it's showing like simple, like everyday people just like having a rough go of it.
Yeah.
You know, just like having a tough time. And they just do like this one simple little thing to like help their time not be so rough, you know? And it's like, oh my God, when you watch it, you're like, wow, what the heck? So it's really good. And I like how even though there's no choreography in the music video, when you then see the choreography on the stage, especially at the beginning, they bring that story from the music video into the choreography.
Oh, yeah.
So like you get it both ways, you know, like you get the story in the choreography and in the music video, even though the music video has no choreography. So once again, like perfect. Like they did a perfect job of that. Like I think their execution with their emotions and everything, perfect. It's just it's really good. Whoever found and decided that these were these boys' strengths did a great job, because I think it's great. And it's like Moonrise, but instead of being happy, it's kind of like bittersweet. So yeah, I don't know. I liked that they're still sticking with the live vocals. We've been seeing that from them since the beginning. And I think it's very suitable, very fitting for the type of music they're doing as well, to be doing live vocals. I just think that they're doing a really good job, and I think more people should. I mean, for some crazy reason, I mean, it's not a crazy reason, but somehow I saw they were being nominated for a Mama, so someone is paying attention to them. But still, I feel like more people should pay attention to them.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to point people in their direction. Go check out the long season, because it's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. If you've ever been having a rough time in life, I feel like you'll be like, yeah, I know what that felt like.
Well, we are going to move on to AB6. We have been getting into the October releases now. We're at October. So, you know, TIOT, AB6, and we've got what, two more? Only two more groups to talk about after AB6. So stay with us, because
they're getting good.
Yeah, we've got some good ones. So you know, stay with us. But AB6 had their title track Naked, and the A is actually stylized as a V. So when you're searching that up, that might benefit you. And they actually promoted very, 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 very slightly their B-side Forever Young, because I think there's only like one performance of that, but we're gonna shout it out. So Naked, I'll just go ahead, I guess, and say it's definitely like Cherry 2.0 and Sugarcoat 2.0. So it's a style that we've seen from AB6 before, but that's okay, because I think that vibe is really fun. My favorite part of this comeback is the music show stages, because they're just so lively and fun. And I feel like everyone's enjoying themselves. They're really creating an energetic atmosphere for the audience. And it also, like, I want to say that their vocals, I think, are very stable. And I feel like they have improved as well, like in their live abilities. Although I'd say that they've always been pretty powerful in their live vocals, but this time around it seems a little more solid, a little more stable. So that's good. And yeah, overall it's a lot of fun. And the actual EP, I think, is really good as well. And there's like no songs this time around that are lacking. I felt in their, you know, some of their mini albums, not super recently. I think they've picked it up again, but there were some for a while where the B-sides were kind of like not exactly my thing. It was like take or leave. But this, they're all good. And Forever Young, the song that they performed, I was really glad to see that they did perform it because I really like this song a lot. So those are my thoughts. What are yours?
They're your thoughts because what did I write down? Fun and lively. It's fun. It's lively. I don't really know what more to say about it. It had classic styling. You know, if you know what I'm talking about, like it's like a fun styling that has some colors added, has some extra accessory pieces added, but it's not like a very specific of some sort of genre. You know, it's not like the retro styling or anything. It's just classic styling. So yeah, I don't really have too many problems with it. It was like they are energetic stages, like you're saying. The other songs in the album, yeah, I liked them as well. In My Vein is pretty funky. I was surprised that I was kind of like, you know, I was vibing with that. And Forever Young, this, I hope people don't think is mean for me to say, but I feel like it sounds like a karaoke song. Like, as in like an iconic, like, you know, when people sing Busker Busker song or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like it has that vibe. Like, it would be like a classic go-to for people to be like belting out.
Okay, yeah, sure. It does have a very like, you know, belt out, sing along sort of vibe to it, which I love when songs have that atmosphere. So yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. Good job, AB6.
Good job, AB6. We are going to continue on to our next group though, which is AMPERS&ONE. Woo, 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 woo.
I was going to say it along with you, but I didn't know when to jump in, so I got too scared.
Okay. Well, AMPERS&ONE. This is a big one. This is a big one for BlushCat. If you haven't been following along, you should have been, but we'll forgive you if you go back and listen to every single episode now, and then you can hear how much we love AMPERS&ONE, how much we like, you know, we totally had our IPDOC moment back with Boy Mansion. Thank you for having Boy Mansion. And, you know, well, way back at their debut, we were, of course, paying it attention. But, you know, Sheesh was there. But then Boy Mansion really got things going for us. So follow along back to our thoughts. And then you can, you know, love AMPERS&ONE yourself, right? Because that's the natural path to follow.
It's the natural
we
path.
got there, you know, that's the path we followed.
I kept wanting to have Camden as one of my picks on Boys Planet. I mean, I wasn't voting, but hypothetically, and I kept getting judged for it, but I just knew in my heart that somehow it was going to work out. I
feel like Mnet wasn't, you know, showcasing actually. They were obviously showcasing that he was a nice person, but he could have been showcased more.
That's true.
Like, you know, I'm just saying. But I was there when he was giving us the Roni Chones and Jelly Pop. But anyway, now I'm fully there for Camden Tones.
I was there for the Camden Tones and on and on.
I'm fully there for all of the AMPERS&ONE member tones because I'm fully here for AMPERS&ONE. They have the title track, He plus She equals We. Their first mini album. Thank you, AMPERS&ONE, giving us more songs this time. Not that I was getting tired of listening to the other 6 songs, but hey, it's always good to have more, am I right? So, One Question mini album, and they have promoted the B-side. Well, 2 B-sides, Calling You Back and Whip It, have both been like sort of promoted. Not music show promoted, not yet. I don't know if maybe they'll do that with Whip It, but anyway, long intro for them. We're really hyping this up. If you haven't been interested yet, get interested. Okay, so I'll just go.
Every moment that you don't stand AMPERS&ONE is a moment that you're missing out. I'm just saying.
True. Very true. No wrong words.
You can go first.
Okay. I'll just I feel like I want to say this a little bit because I did mention something about their comeback before in the podcast. So while it's not the summer comeback that I was trying to manifest, it is so good. If you haven't already gathered that, and it's fun, and there's literally so much to enjoy about the entire release, not just the title track. And, they've still got plenty of time to have summer fun. So I'll be patient. I just think that they'd fit those vibes so well. So that's why I was trying to manifest it. But, they did give us those, like the water fun episodes. So I am very thankful. And also by the time you're listening to this episode, I probably wouldn't have done it yet. You probably wouldn't have heard it. But a track by track will hopefully be on the way where I will be talking about the whole album. So you can stay tuned for that or check it out. And yeah, so I actually did have high expectations, so I was sort of planning to do a track by track before it was even released. But I want to do one. So why don't we actually finally, sorry for this rambling, you can talk about the title track.
Okay. Well, it did not disappoint. I was a little bit concerned because I thought, wow. I mean, On and On, yes, I liked, but Sheesh, so iconic. We've talked about it a million times. And then Broken Heart, like my favorite song possibly of the year,
Wow.
So good. So I really thought, what if this one isn't good? I thought that. But like I said, it did not disappoint. And I would like to officially state verbally, we've already stated it in text form, but I would like to verbally state that AMPERS&ONE is the cat's pajamas. I want that on record that we are the first people that called them that because someday that'll be iconic for them. It will be.
Yes, let's make more of a point of that right now, just in case any of the members are listening. Hi guys. You are the cat's pajamas.
Yes. And we said that. BlushCat said that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Check out our superlatives and the Meower Monthly. Like the superlatives you can find in the Meower Monthly for October. So go check that out on our social media.
Yes. But anyway, yeah, it really didn't disappoint. They're the cat's pajamas because like you said, there's so much to love about it. The intro, classic. The concept with the cats, we're here for that, of course. Once again, with the cats, great. The song, the beat of the song, the dance, the claps, the spins, the leg up. Like, it's just so good. It's so good. And because I love Sheesh and I love Broken Heart so much. And this is not like those. Like, all three of these songs are so good in a different, there's a different vibe somehow to it. It's not they're so good in a different way where it's like, well, this one, the song is good, but this one, the dance is good. No, they're all so good all around, but somehow it's different. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, they didn't disappoint. It's so good. And the rest of the album is so good. And I can talk a little bit about other songs, but why don't you talk about he plus she equals we?
Okay. I feel like in this climate, it can be kind of rare for a K-pop group to have 3 absolute hits in a row. But luckily, we have AMPERS&ONE. So I will admit, the name, the actual title of the title track had me a little worried about the sound and the direction because I didn't know if it would be like an amateur sort of sound or something like that. But it doesn't at all. It's just a totally fun bop, It like I said about Waker, it feels like K-pop, and I'm here for that. BlushCat is a K-pop themed podcast, so I am appreciating K-pop, and I really like what they're delivering. And of course, yes, I love what they did with the music video and the cat theme. The Camden Kyrell dialogue at the beginning is iconic, and I'm trying to implement the phrases into everyday conversation. Like turn the lines into memes sort of thing, as a sign of support, of course. And, when they released it was like a crossword teaser thing, and there was like the cat ? I was confused for a moment, but then I quickly remembered Jaechon's Oh Girl, and And I was thinking that they were going to go for the same sort of concept where like they're like, I guess the love interest, you might want to say, is actually like a cat. So that's sort of the theme that they were going with. And I love that in general, but also because we're BlushCat. So extra bonus points for that. And any connection that I can make between AMPERS&ONE and DKZ only furthers my agenda. So, love all that. And it's just the choreography, like you said, everything you're saying, yes, preach. Love it. So dynamic and energetic, but also cute. Like, yes, do the little egg yolk for me. I love to see that. So fun, so good. And they actually performed it a couple times before the actual release, which surprised me. But I do think it was a good opportunity for them to promote the song some more to like an audience, like, you know, that they didn't already have and that they're not going to get at the music shows. So not to say that they're not going to get new audience at a music show, but you know what I mean, like different audience,
Right.
So so I had seen them perform it before it was actually released, and like when I first heard it and saw it, I was like, this is so good, this is so fun, this is so cute, I love this. Like, this is the energy, totally a shift from Broken Heart, but not something too far from On and On. So it's still really good. And now that it's actually released, I feel that like 10 times more, and I'm still just as hyped for it. I did have one concern though.
Whoa.
I know. After seeing it initially, and that was how in the world are they going to perform this song as much as they'll have to for promotions, because it seems like it requires a lot of stamina, seeing as they, you know, go all out, especially at the end, like you were saying, like kicks, spins, jumps. They're really pulling out all the stops in this choreography.
It's incredible.
It basically seems like cheerleading. And I love that once again. So it probably is very draining, but as far as quality during their live stages, I didn't need to worry, like, as far as the quality goes, because the music show stages are excellent. They're bringing consistent energy as if it was that very first performance. And I love that they're serving us their vocals. And like, seriously, their radio sessions that they've been doing, really solid as well. You know, nothing bad to say about this. And it's just, I feel like also ever since the ATIST program on Mnet, which totally recommending that as a content piece. And when they said that Micaiah is always there to hype them up and like keep their energy boosted, I've been noticing it a lot this comeback. And I really appreciate their dynamic as a group so much. I feel like I really do see them get a boost of energy when he does that, and I feel it too. And it just, or like, you know, when any member does something like that, and I feel like they're always there to like carry each other. And the fact that type of thing is noticeable at all, especially in a group that's only like a year old, is really good. I feel like they have solid teamwork, and it's like very noticeable, especially when something is as like dynamic as this performance is. Okay. Just an observation.
Yeah, and I want to take a second just to shout out all of the other members as well, because I didn't want to make it seem like we were like, you know, just here for Camden or something, because we mentioned him at the beginning. Camden is what brought me into the group, because I had noticed him on Boys Planet, and so then, you know, we were checking out the group that he ended up being in. But all of the members do a great job, and they're all iconic. Let's get that straight.
Absolutely. And actually, yeah, now that you are mentioning that, I do like how the title track, I mean, I'm getting it from all of their B-sides as well, but the title track, the distribution, I think is very good.
Yes.
Like, it's not just, oh, this is the Camden show, like, because he got the farthest on the program. It's like, they're all getting a moment. They're all delivering many iconic lines, doing many iconic moves. And I think they all have a lot of skill.
Yeah.
So, why don't you talk about Whip It?
Well, Whip It is like a completely different vibe from He plus She equals We, but they absolutely kill it. I think, and I'm so glad that they have choreography for it and that we've seen it being performed, because I already thought the song was pretty cool. Definitely has Pentagon vibes. But with the choreography, I think the choreography adds an even cooler element to it. Like, the choreography just seems so, I don't know how else to describe it besides cool. Like, it's so, like, there's the, like, whacking, you know?
Yeah,
like, they're whacking their hands and stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
It's so, like, nonchalant, but crisp and well done, that it's just, like, gives this really cool vibe. They're way too cool to talk to, you know? That sort of vibe. Yeah, I really like it. I'd like to see it done more, like more performances of it and stuff, because it's like, and they all are so good at it, you know? It's not just like the tougher seeming members or something. They're like all killing it with that dance and with the vibes. So I think Whip It is really strong as well.
Well, once again, I totally agree. You know, I love like crispiness to choreography. And yeah, like the point moves so strong, so catchy. Like, it's like I can't picture the song without it, honestly. And the choreography for AMPERS&ONE all around, really good. Like, I'd say it's like really top tier choreography, because it suits each member really well. One member doesn't overly stand out, but each member does get a moment to like shine. And it's really satisfying and really catchy, really dynamic. Like, it's just all of their choreography that they've had is really good, in my opinion. And so, yes, I would love to see more performances of Whip It. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to at least go on a music show with it once. Micaiah and Camden wrote on the lyrics for this, so that did intrigue me when I saw the track list. And I love to see that. Hopefully they and the other members get more opportunities in the future to work on their songs. The song itself is great as well. And yes, it does remind me of Pentagon. They actually went on Roni's radio show. And as Roni was talking about their songs, I had a feeling that he would like Whip It, because I get like Roni made Pentagon song vibes specifically from it. And he did say that it's like his favorite on the album. And he seemed to like actually really enjoy it, like genuinely. So that's always good to, you know, promote Pentagon and AMPERS&ONE. So I'm here for that. And like they kept teasing the choreography for this before the like dance practice and before the performance 37. And I was like, ooh, this seems pretty good. And when we finally got to see the whole thing, I was like, I really, really like it. Once again, nothing bad to say about this. And the rap parts, I'm like, you know, these are probably obviously like the parts that Micaiah and Camden wrote. Really strong, really good. Song wouldn't be complete without them. Love it.
Can I know you were kind of like seconding what I was saying about the dancing or whatever, but then you sort of went off and just like, I need to second what you were saying, because that is exactly what I was feeling and thinking about AMPERS&ONE and their choreography in general is so satisfying and so good. Like, I literally... because I watched Whip It and I watched He plus She equals We, and I watched was it Calling You Back? They had like there was a performance of it that had choreography too, and I just thought, is there a specific person that's doing all of these choreographies, and how are they getting it? It's distinctly different than other groups.
Yes.
And it's so perfect.
Yeah,
It's
it really is.
it's the perfect balance of everything. It's the perfect balance of like the vibe for the song, but it has these iconic things in it that make it feel like AMPERS&ONE. Like they
Oh
now
yeah.
have a style, you know?
I am nodding
And
right along.
like it's literally, I can't describe it in any other way besides so satisfying and so perfect. It just, because I will see dances all the time for songs, for groups, and I'll be like, I like that part of the dance, like that part was really good. Or I'll think, I thought the dancing was a little much, or I'll think the dancing was a little boring. It's rare that I will see dance after dance after dance from a group and think it's just so satisfying to watch and so perfect.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I actually did look at the end of the performance 37 to see the name of the choreographer because I wanted to check and start to see if it is the same like person doing all of their stuff, but I didn't actually cross-reference yet. So I don't know if it's like if they're getting the same choreographer every time. But it's really good. Keep it up.
Definitely. This is a side note because you brought up looking at the end at the credits or whatever. I noticed, I thought maybe this was rare. It seemed like a lot of music videos of recent times have had credits at the end. And I feel like it used to be like sometimes a music, like the more cinematic music videos would have credits, or a group specifically always puts credits. But I was like, oh, this has credits, that has credits, that has credits. I was surprised.
So yeah, Calling You Back was the one that they sort of promoted because they performed it right before the actual release when they were busking. So there is choreography, which is great to see, and it's great to see like that so many of their songs are getting attention and being promoted in some sort of way. But like it is also a lot. So I hope it's not, too overwhelming or something, but it did seem like they were really eager to want to promote and have more to work with. So I hope that that's the case. But anyway, I think that the song is enjoyable and it's catchy, and it's sort of similar to Someday in like their energy. But like, yeah, nothing bad to say about this one either.
Yeah, Calling You Back is good. Whip It is good. Slide is good.
I've got to shout out Over the Moon because wow, I love that. Like, and Fly, the way it was used in Atist, like, is perfect. Like, it's so good that there's a song that's like, oh, they can put the pictures up, and it's like they can have it as like the background music when they do something that's like, oh, we overcame type of thing. So it's like the whole album is so good. And I actually did just think of one thing, but it's not about the songs. So do you have anything else to say about the songs?
Well, how are they out here doing like on and on sheesh, college vibes into Broken Heart, he plus she equals we, Slide, Whip It, all of these different songs, right? And then coming out here with Over the Moon being the next iconic wedding song? Like, I'm sorry, what?
Wedding song? I don't get that at all.
Don't they say like these 3 words, I love you or something? Like,
I just don't like wedding songs at all, so it makes it seem so bad in vibes for you to say that.
Well, I just feel like it would be the good wedding song. Like, I feel like I can totally see it catching on as one of those quote unquote wedding songs, but it would actually be a good one.
Okay. Well, I wanted to just shout out their styling, or like not even for the actual performances necessarily. The performances like have, pretty like default styling, but I like what they're doing with the colors. And I also like what they did for Music Bank. I was hoping that it was going to be for an actual performance, but it was actually just for going to Music Bank when they were all the rainbow. AB6 had done that sort of thing with fan signs, and it was always so fun because I love being able to see it like collectively together and like literally like illustrating something in their styling. So I hope that they keep doing fun things like that because I like when groups do stuff like that, and I like color. So yeah, and I also they actually did do another thing with color, and that's have each of the members like favorite colors as the cups in the music video. So I love that, and I love how serious AMPERS&ONE is about their colors.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Like, it feels more authentic, that like it's not just like, oh, this is my representative emoji, this is my representative color. Like, they're invested.
Yeah. So that's really all for me for now.
I just want to say, because I mentioned how ZB1 was strong in content, AMPERS&ONE as well. Really good content.
Oh, yes, definitely. So keep up the good work, AMPERS&ONE. We love you. If you want to come on BlushCat, it can be really chill or really chaotic, whatever you prefer. And you're totally welcome anytime. I will be extremely worried about it, but like, don't worry, I'll overcome it because I love to have an episode with you guys.
We will accommodate absolutely anything if you guys want to come on the show. However many members, however few, whatever time, we'll record Korea time, literally anything. We'll speak half in Korean. I don't care.
Anything,
I'll do it.
Anything. So yeah, just please keep it up. We're so thankful for what you're delivering to us and dear. But we do have to move on because we're running out of time. We've taken up, like, this episode has gone on for a long time, just like last week, but that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't have episodes for a long time, but you want to talk about the stuff. So we're moving on to the final group of the day, the BOYZ. We are actually talking about 2 releases from them today, and that would be their Japanese title track, Gibberish, and their latest title track that just happened at the end of October, Trigger. So you can go ahead and talk about Gibberish.
I don't exactly remember what my initial thoughts were on this because it's been such a long time now. I sort of listened to it, watched the music video, and then kind of forgot about it. Didn't revisit it again until now. But I don't think that these were necessarily my thoughts then, but it is now. It's kind of a vibe. I think maybe at first I thought it was kind of a little more on the, like, you know, I'm gonna forget about it side. Like, I didn't dislike it probably, but I was just like, okay, sure. That was their Japanese song. It's no Breaking Dawn. But yeah, I think it's kind of a vibe. The one part in the music video that looks like Lisa Rockstar, I don't like, with all of the, like, the millions of people. Like, the millions
I really don't like that part.
Yeah, I don't like that. But besides that, like, the music video, the song, the dance, like, it's all kind of a vibe. I'm here for it.
Oh, that's exactly what I like. My thoughts are on it. I'm really here for Gibberish.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm really here for Gibberish the song. And that's kind of it. Like, I don't care about the music video. No offense. They've had some hits with their Japanese titles and they've had some misses. So I'm no offense. It's just my opinion. But like, I'm glad this is another one that I like. As far as the actual sound goes, if you're looking for like the music video style that I like, it would be Breaking Dawn. Mm-hmm. So it was a little jarring at first, but I think it's executed well. Like come on, it actually is so good. Like, it's a Simlish bop. If you know The Sims. Like, that comes on the radio, like, my Sims are going to like crank that and dance.
Funny.
And I like that there is a dance practice because there isn't always one for Japanese releases. But I don't really like the dance because I pictured something a little more like aggressive. Like, I don't know if that's the best word, but like, kind of, because there's so much chaos in the song.
A little more hard hitting, maybe.
Yeah, but like, it's just a little slower than I expected it to be. And that one part, like the one part of the dance practice. You know it if you saw it. I don't know what was up with that, but I appreciate the humor.
Man, I didn't see it because I watched the music video and then I was like, okay, then see if there's anything else. And I saw that they performed it for like a Tokyo concert sort of thing. And I clicked on that one instead because it also said Breaking Dawn. And I was like, are you kidding? The performance of Breaking Dawn. So I clicked and I watched. So I saw it perform, but I didn't go and watch the dance practice after. I should have.
I want to shout out Chani's hair and outfit in the dance practice because I liked that. But like, yeah, I kind of was hoping it would have some, because do you know what the cover art looks like for the song? Like the album art?
I don't remember. I know what the word gibberish looks like.
Okay, yeah, how it's like graffiti sort of style. Yeah, that's the vibe that I was hoping things would have more, or like in like the speakers. Like I kind of get JSRF.
No, yeah, I did too.
Okay, yeah. So like I was hoping the music video would look a little more like that. I don't want to necessarily go like, Gravity, Ready or Not.
Right.
Like, that's a little too comic.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
And, like, that kind of bright graffiti sort of style. I'm not saying it should be like that, but something a little bit like JSRF-like.
Maybe a little influence of, like, X Phenomenon from Monsta X.
Sure,
that goes, like, a little bit into the, like, J-pop, rock. What is it? What is... dance electronica. What is the JSRF music? I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, those are just the vibes that I wish that the music video had. And so, did you hear the album?
If I did, I don't have any notes written down about the rest of it. I don't remember because I know I listened to the other album.
Okay. I'll say that I was glad that I enjoyed their B-sides as well. And there's a song that I really like called Shout It Out. It's totally a concert song with anime and also second gen vibes. So I really love the atmosphere that it creates. And the BOYZ don't have a lot of songs like that, but the ones with like similar vibes are all some of my favorite The BOYZ songs. And I also love that it's pretty long. It's around 4.5 minutes. Whoa. So that's really good, like especially because it's like my favorite B-side from that album. So I do think that the whole album feels complete. The tracks are all good lengths, and I wasn't expecting a Jacob Kevin duet, but there is one, so that's cool and different.
BOYZ? Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, now we can talk about Trigger. And remember, this is the most fresh thing that we're dealing with today. So, do you want me to just share my thoughts on it?
Sure.
Okay. So, some of the versions of the concept photos were really serving. I just need to point that out. As for the actual song, when I heard those first couple of beats, I knew that I was going to enjoy this. Like, the whole beginning is giving aespa whiplash, so it has, caused some confusion, but I really liked whiplash, and so I like the vibes that I was getting right away. Count how many times I've said vibes in this episode, and just in general. Oh my god, we say that all the time on BlushCat.
There's sometimes it's the only way to describe what I'm talking about.
I need a new word. But it is definitely very the BOYZ. Like this is like their fifth iteration, something like that, of their dark concept title tracks. But hey, they do that style well, so it's fine. I don't know why it still does sort of feel to me like the BOYZ doesn't have like a distinct sort of style when they totally do, because they do both the bright concepts and then this darker, powerful concept. Like, they do them all the time, and so it is very the BOYZ at the same time. So I don't really know what my problem is in thinking that. But Trigger does feel a bit elevated to me, as if it's like for Kingdom or Road to Kingdom type of thing. I'm like, whoa, what are we, like, we're pulling out all the stops here. Like, what are we bringing this much energy for? I feel like the energy that they're bringing is like, it's their big chance to prove themselves sort of thing. And so they're pulling out all the stops. They're doing everything. They're showing everybody everything that they've got. That's how elevated it seems. And the main dance line, they're going so strong in this song. And I love that Juyeon gets to be front and center so often and like shove it in everyone's face, especially like, you know, I still have beef with the choreographer. But like, so I can't really believe that. And like, why are you showcasing your dance line so much if you don't like it? I don't understand that at all. But like, yes, he is a main dancer, so get those parts. However, I really feel like I'm missing out on many members in this comeback. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if it's just because it's still very new and so I like haven't seen enough of it yet or something, so I'm not used to everything, and the things that stand out initially are the strong, powerful dance moments. But like, if we compare it to Maverick or The Stealer, I feel like there were some more standout parts for everyone, but now it's really heavily focused on just like a few of them. Even when it's the other members' vocals, we're not seeing them featured in the choreography or in the music video. And so that's a little concerning to me, but I think it's really enjoyable. I think that the song itself is offering a lot. And as for the styling, it's a little tiring to see the boys in dark colors, which is mainly black, but that music core stage was certainly surprising. I don't know if you saw that. They had like rap sort of style cloth clothing, like barely there clothing.
What?
I don't really know how they got away with that.
I did not see that.
It was certainly something I haven't seen before, so they get bonus points for bringing something different to the table. I'll say that about it.
No, the stage I saw, they were just wearing outfits from the music video. And I do know that at least Q at one point in the music video had like, as if he was a wounded soldier that had bandages on his torso, but he had a jacket on over it. So
Yes,
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's not. It was just some members that were giving looks like that. But yeah, as like for the actual music video, like, once again, I do think it's good, and the choreography is good as well. I really like the part at the beginning, which we see. I think it's cool how they did like a similar sort of motion, like they did it with graphics and editing in the music video, and then in the choreography it's the same sort of effect, and it's similar to like the wave like fluttering thing that they do in the beginning of The Stealer. And so I like that there's something similar to that.
We're always here for the flutter in The Stealer.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with a lot of what you said, maybe slightly less passionately, but I do think it's really good. And I literally thought that it was kind of like a Road to Kingdom stage. Like, I was really getting Kingdom vibes, and I was like, is that silly to say, because is that just the boys sort of vibe? Like, is it weird to try and be like, it's like Road to Kingdom because Road to Kingdom was just the boys? No. It obviously is a distinctly different sort of like fighting for your life sort of vibe. So yeah, about that specifically, I don't really have much more to say. Like, I feel like you already said a lot, and like I said, I think it's accurate. I agree. It was good.
Okay. Well, how about Bite Back? How did you?
I liked Bite Back.
Okay. You liked it?
Yeah.
Did you have anything else to say
about Bite Back?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then let me just say Let me just say my thoughts on it. I really like Bite Back, and I like. Is it greedy to hope that they would do this a little bit on music shows?
No.
Okay, because I hope that they do it a little bit, because I think that this song is really strong as well as Trigger. And I saw that they had done it at their concert, and then like they released the performance of it, and I was like, where did this song come from? Like, what is this for? And then I never heard anything about it again, so I was super confused. And then it finally popped up on this album, and I'm like thankful that I can listen to it regularly now. Like honestly, I think it could have been a double title. That's how I feel about it. And I think it pairs really nicely with Trigger, because like they both have a lot of like power and strength, but they also have some flavor, some bounce, and it's giving me a little bit more. And so I really like it. And I also liked the styling in their performance of it.
I like
and
the
I liked the
styling.
red. I think the BOYZ pairs nicely with red, which is, one of their colors, but still, I like when they are styled in red.
Okay, nice. Yeah, the styling was good. Like everyone looked great.
Yeah. Okay, so what about the other songs on the album?
Well, I think much like most of the people's albums that we've talked about today, it was also a good album overall. The song that I'm surprised that I like is Bad.
I have the exact same thing written down.
It sounds kind of like a song that would be on Dark Angel from
Okay.
back in the day.
I'm not familiar.
That show just has, I feel like, a very specific vibe of like I don't know, sort of like dystopian city, kind of like a little bit of a hip-hoppy vibe. And so this song, like when it first started playing and I was hearing the lyrics, I was like, oh God. But then I was actually like, wait, it's a vibe. Like I'm here for Bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah, totally. That's literally in my notes. I wrote, I surprisingly really like Bad because it's not my style at all. Like it's not, but it pops into my head randomly, and I'm like, wait, what is this song again? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's that new The BOYZ song, and it's pretty good.
It's just like so funky or something. Like there's just something about it.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, Bad is a good one. And anything else to say about their album?
Nope.
I need to point out that the beginning of Slip Away and like, many parts throughout, because that sound like it repeats, sound so much like Chang'a Eeny Meeny. So there's that.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm always a fan of the lighter sounds from the BOYZ, but I think that they've done a good job. They obviously pull off this dark stuff well. So, I'm curious to see their direction after, December, because that's when their contracts are running out. They're ending. So I'm curious to see what's going to go on with them, and like what kind of style they'll have, if they'll continue to do this kind of stuff, or if we'll see a little bit of a concept shift. So yeah, and I'll keep checking out more of their stages and the rest of their promo, stuff like that. And so that is, I guess, all that we are saying for today.
We got through it all. I'm exhausted. But honestly, there were quite a few strong songs we just really needed to talk about.
Yeah. And so that, like, let's view this as a good thing.
Yeah, because like before, I say lately, but obviously lately at this point wouldn't be accurate.
Right.
But when we left off, I feel like there was a lot of comebacks that were happening where I was thinking it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. But like, where is that next big thing, that's like really like, but now we had some strong ones.
Yeah. And so you know what to do at this point. First of all, like we said at the beginning, if you didn't hear part 1 when we talked about the girl groups, go ahead and listen to that. And if you enjoyed what we had to say this episode, you can like the video on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or anywhere else that you might be listening to the podcast, you can rate us positively there. You can leave us a comment and share what your favorite comebacks from the past few months were, and talk about the recent stuff. How do you feel about all of the October comebacks? And you can please subscribe to the BlushCat channel on YouTube and turn on notifications to keep up with our content that will be rolling out hopefully a little more steadily once again.
Yes, and we'll get to non-comeback related episodes as well. Like, don't worry, we cover more than just comebacks.
Right. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for staying with us.
Thank you for meowing.
Thank you for meowing, and remember to stay meowing. This has been Yellow
and me. Bye.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.